feet, so everyone has these problems. So I feel like by me showing the videos, people are like, oh my god, I have that, or I know someone who has that, or they can relate. And no one talks about it, so I kind of put it out there. So this is just an antibiotic.
Unless people wear a lot of sandals and stuff, really, people just hide issues like this, and so nobody knows, right? But,
yeah. And if it wasn't for, in relation to you wouldn't have known.
Yeah, like I probably just would have went back to the old guy to try to get something done, but yeah, I don't know.
There's a lot of misinformation about feet because majority of the times people sometimes don't always go to a foot specialist. They go to family doctor, then gets referred to a dermatologist versus going right to a foot specialist.
Yeah.
And even then, the way we're treating certain issues has changed a lot as well. People a lot of the time in the past didn't do a lot of removals. They were really conservative, but that's not what cases like this need. They need something a little bit more aggressive. So I've yet to remove all 10 toenails. I've done 5.
Oh, like on one person?
Yes. So what we're going to do first, we're going to put on this little rubber band, this tourniquet, and just know it down the toe. And this is to help stop the bleeding. So there's going to be very little to no blood whatsoever during the procedure, so I get to see everything really clearly. And the most important reason is the acid that we're using needs to be working in a dry environment. If there's too much blood, it'll actually wash out the acid and we'll get a regrowth.
Okay.
And that's why it's actually something that seems so simple is one of the most important steps of this procedure. So we're going to do one last check. I'm going to cover up the toe just for a second. Anything sharp here?
No.
Anything here?
No.
Anything sharp down here?
No.
And how about down here?
No.
Awesome. So you can see it's already kind of lifted at the very base. It's not yet. So you almost feel like you got like the double nail.
Yeah, I think there may actually be 2 nails there.
And so what it is, it's actually 1 toenail. So I think we could do this in 2 parts. It'll be pretty cool to see. The top nail, what happens is the bottom is alive. But because it's traumatized, as it grows forward, it becomes disconnected or grows lifted, and that's why that second nail, is the one on top. But it's truly, it's truly 1 nail, just in 2 levels. And no pain?
No.
So give this a go. So this looks like to be just the top piece, because I know I didn't feel the piece underneath come off, but you can see completely detached.
Yeah.
Nothing really holding it down, just that small attachment. And the crazy thing is there's a very thin real nail underneath here. And that's what we got to get to. So it's actually a very tight connection here. Very, very cool. So see this part here?
Yeah.
This is actually the real nail underneath. That is pretty cool. I haven't seen something like this. How tight it is. There. So I've never seen such a cool attachment, how thin it was. It almost looked like there was no nail there, but I could feel it. So that's the actual true nail underneath that was healthy and attached, but it was separating. And even by removing both and letting it regrow, the trauma to the nail bed and to the nail cells it's like a scar. And that's what I tell people. Think of it like scar tissue or the scar nail. It's never truly ever going to grow the exact same way again. So I'm just checking, make sure there is no nail left behind. Yours was actually, could have been a very easy one to miss because they removed the top one. It looks smooth and like, yeah, it's gone, but we still had that other level underneath. Looks good. There's some dead skin I might try to get out over here. So this is very similar to what your nail's going to look after. Everything will be closed. This will be smooth pink tissue, and it's almost going to look like a nail. It's going to be actually much better than the original toenail you had. So one last check. Nothing here. So I'm going to dry everything out. And apply the acid. That's it. How many years with this toe like this?
It's been about 2 now, I think.
So we spend 2 minutes per year removing this guy. So this is the acid that we're basically going to flood underneath the cuticle where the nail grows from. One thing I'm actually going to do quickly is I'm actually going to get a scalpel for one reason. It's a little bit tight underneath, and I want to make sure that the acid really floods that area. It's a very short, almost nail stump. So again, nothing sure hurts. I'm just going to make sure that the acid's really getting in underneath the cuticle. And these are some of those things that when you do a lot of these, you learn that if the acid doesn't go everywhere, it really won't work. It was very tight for me to get my Q-tip in there. Just like that. I didn't hear you scream, you're tough. Yeah. So see how I can slip that one a little bit deeper in the center? That's what we want. Again, think of it like a scar. It's tight, and that change in the cuticle is also a reason why the nail might be growing a little funky. So very important we open it up to really get the acid to get in there. We're basically chemically burning those nail cells. Much better. I've had people where in the past, long time ago, where I've seen the same issue, and if I didn't do that, sometimes you get maybe like a faint, thin nail that could possibly grow back. So you learn the fun way how to improve these little weird things that happen with traumatized nails. So you'll be able to really honestly show off this toe and flip flops, beach, and no one will really notice from first glance at all what's going on. I'm just going to dry it for a second, do one last application, and we are good. Pretty cool to see those two pieces out there. You know, a lot of people see that first nail and they say, oh, it's just a fungus. You got to use fungal medicine, and that's going to get rid of it, but it's not fungus whatsoever. It's just a damaged toenail. So that was rubbing alcohol to neutralize the acid, to stop that reaction. Drying it out, that's done. How you're going to address this is you're going to be using this antibiotic cream morning and night for a week till you send me a picture, and we go from there. I'm going to put on gauze today because it'll probably bleed today. Maybe tomorrow you use gauze as well. But make sure you use a lot of cream or else it'll stick to the gauze. That's why after, depending if there's really no blood tomorrow, when you do your first changing, what I would say is you take You don't use gauze, you use a rubber, a Band-Aid, sorry.
Okay.
You just use the cream and a Band-Aid.
That's tomorrow?
That's tomorrow. So, you leave this on today. Tomorrow morning, shower with the dressing on. Get everything nice and wet. Take everything off. Dry the toe. Put on the antibiotic cream. And then you're going to put on just a Band-Aid if there's really no bleeding going on. So nothing sticks to it. Morning and night, so we see it in 1 week. And after 1 week, send me a picture, then we switch to that brown liquid that I put on in the beginning. And it'll go just on that area, you don't have to paint the whole toe.
Okay.
So the cool thing we'll see is the 2 pieces of nail. So one, we had, we can call it the second part of the nail that was detaching. But this was actually your actual healthy nail underneath, where this was just sitting right on top.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. Pretty cool. This one was still attached and this just split in a layer and was coming off on. You got a convertible toe, man. I hope you didn't want the toenails. I just threw them out. Take them home to your wife. She loves that stuff, right?